Brawl Stars recently remixed their regular challenges to give you Bibi for free, and since I don't have Bibi already, I thought it would be a good idea to try and beat it myself, so I'm going to take you guys on the journey with me. For Gem Grab, I thought 8-Bit would be a good idea since he has good damage output and a lot of health. All of my team tried to rush up and get the gems at first, but we weren't able to get there before the Ems. Luckily, I was able to kill the Ems before she was able to run away with them. A Fang unfortunately kills 2 of my teammates, but luckily I'm able to avenge them and get my super ready. Thanks to the help of some of my teammates, we were able to get rid of the other people carrying the gems, leaving only the LMs alive. But even she couldn't escape us. Fang tried to get another super off, but just like last time, I pretty much killed him instantly. However, he did leave me 1 tap, so when I tried fighting the Tara, it was game over. By the time I respawned, the red team were on countdown, meaning that if I didn't manage to kill anyone, we would definitely lose. Thankfully, we were both able to actually get onto our countdown, meaning that if both me and the Brock stayed alive, we would win in less than 7 seconds. And the Fang just needs to stop trying to use his super on me. First game finished and I was able to achieve a cheeky little star player. Next game and oh god. Seconds in, I realised that my main enemy wasn't going to be the enemy team, but my internet. But the Edgar is the worst player on our team because he ran into the Dynamite's bullets and then died, losing us all of our gems. Something very annoying that you will notice throughout this game is that the Grey is very, very good at stealing all of my kills. And you should know that when 8-Bit finally gets down his damage booster, it's near enough game over. We even managed to get onto a countdown, but then guess who decided to just had to run into the middle and aggro them. But I will admit, this death was entirely my fault. Now that the Grey had all 4 of his portals down and had all 10 of our gems, there's pretty much nothing the enemy team could. But I still don't understand how the Grey managed to get the star player off of the Edgar. Now moving on to Hot Zone, I decided to play as Barley. Now, I'm going to explain this game to how you should play Barley. Barley is a very, very good controlling brawler, to the point where I would say he's more of a controller brawler than a thrower. And I know, yeah, he does throw stuff, but so does Willow, and she gets controller. Screw you. Look, so what you do is that the second you put down a super, he instantly closes off all of the map that enemy goes, because nobody wants to stand through that instant damage of 16,000 per tick. Like, if you want to do that, you're just insane. But that's just my opinion on how Barley plays. Okay, now back to me describing on what's happening in the gameplay. We were able to push them off of the hot zone very early, so we were able to rack up points from a very early point in the game. The Edgar and Dynamite tried to do a mini little push, but we pretty much stopped them instantly. And let's be honest, a tick with no super and no teammates isn't very dangerous. This was a brilliant example of where the Barley super is good for closing off maps. Nobody could get through that. Unfortunately, you do die as a thrower. You're not immortal. But by the time I respawned, my super was ready, meaning that I could close off the hot zone, meaning that nobody could get through to it. However, I was left alone with an Edgar, meaning that I had to play very, very carefully. But by the time he was able to get back on point, it was already over. Now, after this, we went through a long lot of losses, meaning that Barley, in my opinion, just wasn't the play. So I pulled out my main, Daryl. As most of the games, we do manage to get on point first, but I die pretty quickly. I know that's not a very good look for me saying that I'm a good Daryl player, but I managed to make it up by getting a kill in the end. The Edgar wanted round 2 and I really wanted revenge, and luckily that's exactly what I got. After killing the Ems and then the Dynamite, I realised, wait a second, I'm pretty much playing the exact same team as mine, just with one different person. Oh, and me wanting to kill this Edgar is like a rivalry at this point. I was able to pull off a good hypercharge and super onto the Ems and Dynamite, but I should, in hindsight, not have chased after that Edgar, because that was just a bit greedy at this point. And yet again, the Edgar tried taking me, but this was my turn to take him out, and I know the Dynamite stole my kill here. And just like that, I showed everyone just how good Daryl is. Moving into Knockout now, I'm now playing as Colt, as he's pretty good on this map. The Frank killed the Rico pretty much immediately, leaving me and the Meeple in a 2v3. Me and the Meeple had been backed into a corner, and with me teleporting all over the place thanks to my lag, the Hankei was able to kill me just like that. And a Buzz versus a half-health Meeple, not much is going to come out of that for us. But this time, me and my team had to lock the hell in. The Buzz got killed by the Rico pretty easily, and the 8-Bit I think just went AFK here, so we were able to pick up an easy kill. And thanks to the Meeple leaving down his super, we were able to get rid of the Hankers. Had to be careful now, because if we didn't win this, that was it. The game was over. We were able to kill the hypercharge Hank before he could cause us too much trouble, but we were backed into a corner and the Buzz was able to get rid of the Meeple and the Rico, leaving me in a 1v1 with the Buzz. It was all down to me now. I had to win this. After very closely dodging one of his supers, I pulled out my super and hypercharged it, so he dealt a lot of damage, but wasn't able to kill him, unfortunately. If this was a regular super, I would have been dead here, but thanks to it only being the gadget, he didn't stun me. What an absolute fool. I tried focusing on the 8-bit, but I decided to fall back and help the Dynamite with the bow. The 2 throwers on my team were able to make the most out of there being sides that the other teammates couldn't get to, leaving me to deal with everybody else in the middle. But the Barley just stood there as he was getting punched by the El Primo, which shows how bad he was. But me and the Dynamite were able to finish him off. The Dynamite charged in with the Hypercharge, but left me to deal with the El Primo in close quarter combat, almost killing me. Oh, the Barley died, but we retaliated with the death of the bow. The 8-bit also was killed by the Dynamite, leaving me to have to deal with the El Primo again in close quarter combat, but I did finish him off this time. Oh, and here are the stats of the Barley if you needed to know. And this was the final game. Now, I absolutely hate the Bee Brawler, so having her on my team wasn't my favourite, but she was pretty good to be honest. I even hit this extremely good super on the Jessie. And the Frank died due to the insane amount of firepower we had. And I almost met the same fate with the Surge, but we all managed to finish him off. In the final round, we did not expect anything to change. We expected to pretty much kill them immediately, which is what happened. We were able to get rid of the Frank very, very early on in the game. And the Surge tried sneaking up on us, but a Hypercharge and a Super dealt loads of damage to him, allowing the Bee to finish him off. And with that, the Jessie was backed into a corner, allowing the Bee to finish her off. After securing the most amount of damage, I headed back to lobby and unlocked my prize. Thanks for watching.